So in example 1, they're letting us know that f of x, which is our first function, is equal to 4x squared, and g of x, is our second function, is equal to x plus 1. They want us to find our new function, h of x, and state its domain for both a and b. In a, they're asking us to add them, and b, if you notice, they're asking us to subtract the two. So in letter A, we're going to do the same thing as we did with the examples on the previous page. H of x is equal to, in parentheses, my first function, f of x, which is 4x squared, plus g of x, which is x plus 1. Because I'm adding across the board, I can drop my parentheses, so I get 4x squared plus x plus 1. And because I have different variables for all of these, I have x squared, I have x, and I have a constant, my new function, which is h of x, is going to be that as an answer. To find the domain of h, again, we're looking for the x values that I'm allowed to plug in. So in this case, can I plug positive numbers in and get a real solution? Absolutely. Can I plug in negative numbers into my x's and get a real solution? I can do that as well. And can I plug 0 in? If I plug in 0, I get 0 plus 1, I get 1. That also works. So because I can put anything in for x and still get a real solution out, my domain, let's do this, my domain of f of x, so if I plug in positive numbers work, negative numbers work, and 0 works, so my domain for f of x is this symbol here, which looks or represents all real numbers. My domain for g of x, if I go up here, I can plug in positive numbers and I'm okay, negative numbers I'm okay, and 0 and I'm okay, so I know my domain for my g of x is all reals. And because both of these are all reals, and we actually talked about it being all reals because we did this previously looking at this equation, is all reals. So I have no restrictions on what my x values or plugins can be. In letter B, I'm going to do the same thing. My new function h of x is equal to, in parentheses, f of x is 4x squared minus my second function is x plus 1. Because I'm dealing with subtraction, I have to be careful that I'm going to distribute the negative to my second grouping. I can drop the parentheses from my first. So I get minus x minus 1. Because I can't combine any terms here, that's my final answer. Again, my domain for f of x is all reals. My domain for g of x is all reals. I can plug anything into each of these equations separately and get a real number out. And since both of these are not restricted, my overall new function is also not restricted, so that's also going to be all real numbers.